Hello and welcome to another video here on the Big Guide to React. So today we're at Duxford and we're going to be going through how to photograph static aircraft at React and most other air shows as well. So for instance, we're going to show you how to hold the camera, what settings to use, and the positions really on how to photograph the aircraft. Getting low, getting higher, see what angles there are. And this video is more if you've just picked up your first camera, or you've just bought your first camera, or you're thinking about getting into aviation photography in general. And I choose Duxford, especially here, because there are an array of aircraft to practice on. And this is why I like it, and I thought I'll show you around Duxford today. So we're going to go through some videos on how to photograph static aircraft. So I'm going to go through on how to hold the camera, what equipment you're going to need, especially more for static aircraft, and the positioning, angles, if you're going to go low or go low down or higher up, and that's what I'm going to go through today. Okay, so in this section what we're going to do is we're going to pretend this aircraft is a C-130 Hercules. So the reason why we're going to do that is because we're going to focus on the propellers. If you're thinking, how can I improve my photography skills on an aircraft, especially if it's large as well, and just to make it a bit more creative. Now we're going to focus on these two props, because what you could do, you could zoom into the props and create a different style of image and just focus on the detail. So then what we're going to do is focus on that part of the prop. If you're a beginner or just starting out, just think, what can your eye see and how can I just make my photograph more interesting and a bit more creative, especially if it's like dark, and gloomy like it is today. You can get some really moody shots when you're doing your editing, contrast, clarity, dehazing for example. You can really sort of capture a unique style of image. What I'm going to do is photograph this aircraft now with the propellers and what I was trying to explain, and I'll show you the example now. Hi. Well, unfortunately our day didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. In my last video I mentioned that I'll be filming this both at RF Lakenheath and at Duxford. But unfortunately the day I went to Duxford and Lakenheath it was really busy and it made it quite difficult to film the information and message that I wanted to bring to you. So I've had to adjust the plan slightly, and I'll be filming this both at home and I'll be cutting back to the footage that I was able to get at Duxford. That way you'll still be able to get the kinds of shots that I'm talking about, and it will help give you a better understanding and idea how you can practice at Duxford or a similar location or any museum in the UK. So we're going to be learning how to photograph static aircraft at RIA and practicing before a big event like RIA as well, how to hold your camera and techniques and how to be more creative with the shots when you have a little to no experience. Now, over the years of photographing static aircraft at RIA, I have learned that there are really three main key components when photographing static aircraft. Firstly, it's your style, right? So your style is a very important point. If you're just starting out, this is the perfect time to experiment. Try everything. Your style won't appear overnight. It builds over time, and it took me quite a few years to find mine, go through, practice, and then you occasionally think, why did I take that shot moment? And it helps style your images in the way that you want them to look, and it will give you an identity, and it may even build up a few styles like I have. I like to focus on two styles. Now these are clean and simple and dramatic and moody. And this will show you how I've chosen and developed these two styles when it comes to photographing at RIA. Now I see photographers posting their work after RIA, and even without seeing their name I can clearly spot who they are. Now this is ultimately due to their style of photography. The way they frame, compose and edit their work becomes noticeable, and this is a great way for you to try it and see what style works for you. You will find this over time. It's not instant unless you get very lucky. I will show you how I found mine and the key components that I always do now when it comes to my photography style. I always try and keep the image looking the way I shot it, but I do like to add in some extra flavour to my images. For instance, I like to crop into my images. And here I'm going to show you examples now of why. When it comes to editing, I always include the following. I always add vibrance, add the haze, clarity, and I use levels and cropping at 16:9. Regardless of the images, I always use these 5 options. Then I adjust everything else accordingly. And I will be showing this in another video on how to edit airshow pictures. Type of images that you want to shoot. This links closely to your style, but it's slightly different when I go to something like the Royal International Air Tattoo. I usually have a rough plan in my head. That plan depends on 2 things. 1, the weather, and 2, my mindset on the day. Now, the mindset might sound a bit strange, but trust me, it's real. There are days when I head out and shoot, and even somewhere like London doing street photography, I still can't see anything. Nothing just stands out for me. My photographer's eye isn't switched on or tuning into what I want to look at. Then there's days where everything clicks, every angle works, every subject looks interesting, but I don't fully understand why that happens. But for me, it usually comes down to having a clear head, and whatever the weather is that day will play a massive role, especially when it comes at RIA. Now, my favourite conditions are bright blue skies with white frothy clouds, or dark dramatic rain clouds for moody shots. But a grey flat sky can certainly drain the creativity, and it affects how I see the scene and what I choose to shoot. Now, these are examples of clean and moody shots that I take at RIA. This is the difference in style that I have for static shots. This is the clean looking, everyday style images. This one is a lot more simple. It's just basic editing, and I'm really not trying to push anything too much. I'm just showing the images as I saw it on that day. And that's the whole idea behind this style. It's more natural, it's more true, it's more in the moment, and it keeps everything real. It's one of the main styles that I use, especially when the scene already looks great, but doesn't need anything dramatic added. But when it comes to this image, you can really see the difference to this one. This one has a lot more depth and layers, which instantly makes it feel more dramatic. It gives you a completely different experience when looking at it. And a lot of it comes down how it's edited. You've got that drama, the clouds add so much character in the background, and overall it just gives a fresh perspective. And this is actually another editing style that I use, but I don't apply it to every photo. I only go for this look when the image already has potential to be pushed in this direction. Number 3 is about being creative. This is where things get fun. I'm always looking for angles that most people walk straight past. Using the weather, using different lenses, and changing perspective. Now let's head back to Duxford and I'll show you how to use your camera in a more creative and a unique way. Okay, and the good thing about this aircraft, it's got a nice long wing. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to see a Valiant at Fairford But we're going to use this one as an example because there are so many aircraft that you can do this to. So what we're going to do is find a different perspective of photographing this aircraft. And we're going to use leading lines and the wing as an example. So with your camera, and you don't even have to look through the viewfinder, but it is also a good choice. And you have a camera where your screen pops out. Stick it on live view on the pictures. And it's sort of cheating, but it's an experimental when it comes to photography. You can get some really good images up high of the wings. When it comes to photographing rear, get creative with your camera, get creative with your lenses, and get creative with the aircraft. So get your screen out and just fire away and try and get some really good compositions when it comes to photographing. So like I've just done there, just get the camera up nice and high, look through your viewfinder on your screen, and just think, like, how can I make this image look more different? And really focus on like the leading lines with photography, and that's an interesting avenue to go down because leading lines draws the viewer's attention into the image, especially when it comes to aircraft and wings, and you can really capture some amazing images. I brought you here to show you a different approach to creativity. It's a method that can work really well when you're intentional with it. The goal is to experiment but still keep your images looking clean rather than overdone. Sometimes it won't quite land, but that's part of the process and how you start shaping your own style. It wasn't until I got home and started editing it and I questioned it. Did it come out the way I wanted to? I wasn't completely sure, and that's normal, and I will come back to that in a moment. Places like Duxford are where you can practice again and again. By the time you get to the Royal International Wear Tattoo, you'll already have a clear idea of the kind of images that you want to create. If you haven't already noticed, your style, the type of images you want to create, and creativity all link together. They work as one to help you get the results that you are after. So why do I choose Duxford, for example? Now, for me, it's one of the best places to learn about static aircraft photography because you're allowed to get it wrong. You can come back, try again and again, and experiment. Practice somewhere like Duxford can give you a huge advantage, especially when it has a large outdoor static area full of aircraft that you can practice on. Now, these are a great place to practice too. So there are other great places to practice too across the UK, so I'll give you a few. For example, you have the Royal Air Force Museum at Cosford. There's an aircraft outside, plus it's free to enter. You have the Yorkshire Air Museum. It also has a good range of outdoor exhibits. And these also range from jets to large aircraft, and you can really work on the small detail and just get your practice in getting ready for RIA. If you're heading to the Cosford Air Show this year in June, use that as a practice ground. There's a strong static display from aircraft from the museum and visiting nations. It's a perfect place to experiment and to build your confidence from behind the camera. Now let's talk about why actually shoot. So we're going to start with this F4 Phantom. Think of this viewpoint as both your camera and your eyes. Move around the aircraft and really take it in. Pay attention to the shape, the angles and the finer details. Elements like nose, our tail art, roundels and markings can all become strong focal points. Now this is where your composition can come into play. Now using the rule of thirds to position these details in different parts of the frame and see what works best. If you spot leading lines, use these to guide the viewer's eyes through the image. Now try crouching down as well. Shooting from lower angles can really make the aircraft feel larger and more imposing, and it often helps cut out unwanted clutter in the background. If nothing stands out straight away, don't force it, don't rush. Just step back, reset, and think about what you're trying to create. Go back to your style and use that as your guide to build a more interesting image. Then you can create images more like these. Let's take a look at some of the images that I've took over the weekend at Duxford. Now, after seeing those images, I just want to quickly recap on how I took those and the techniques that I have used. The editing style. This will be covered in the next video, where I'll go through step-by-step processes in Photoshop from start to finish, from a basic JPEG and a raw image to the final image that I'm happy to be publishing on my social medias, websites and online, for example. And I'm going to do that with you guys through a screen recording, and we'll go through that and I'll explain that more in detail in the next video. Let's quickly do a composition and a creativity recap. So what's to look out for? We have the roundels, engines, cockpit, the tail, different angles, and try different height lows. Don't just shoot side on, move around the aircraft, become creative. Focus on the finer details and just try different framing. Look for unique perspectives. And just helpful tips to recap on here. When you're taking your pictures, just slow down and observe before shooting. Don't overthink your images. Just let it become natural. Simple way to explain it. Don't just take a photo of a plane. Pick something about it. This will help you get the results that you want. We're going to cover this in the next video, but I just want to briefly say what's in a camera bag for a complete beginner. So you're going to need one, a camera, secondly a lens, some spare batteries, memory cards, and like I said, this will go into a full detailed video later on. These videos will come out a lot sooner and quicker than this one, but however, unfortunately, a few commitments had to come first. So just to end off this video, just remember, practice first. This builds confidence, and then apply that at an air show. Please don't overthink your images when trying to create something new. So if you can like and subscribe onto this video, that'd be amazing, and any comments I will get back to you. But my next videos in this series will be how to edit as a beginner and what's in a photographer's backpack. But now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.